Okay, let's have a look at installing Joomla on your area on BIM Server 2. We start by choosing the language, English United Kingdom, that's fine. I need to give my site a name. No. And the site name, what I entered here, is something I can change later. There's also a description for my site, again, that's something I can change later. Testing my new Joomla installation. So if your website is about gardening, for argument's sake, then you could write, oh, this is my website about gardening. You put your email address down. And we need a password. Just think of one and make a note of it. And please make sure you make a note of that password, because you are the super user, you're the main admin. You can't reset your password from within the system. All the other user accounts you will create in your system, all those normal kind of users, if they forget their password, they can click somewhere, I forgot my password, and you can reset your password. But because this is the super user, you will not be able to reset your password in the system. If you ever forget your password, the only way of resetting it is basically to go into the tables of your Joomla installation manually and to replace the password in the table. But the password is not stored in clear text, it's stored as a hashed value, so you need to get some hashed value somewhere from the web that you put in that you know means something specific, whatever your new password will be. So in short, it's gonna be quite messy, so do yourself a favor and write the password down. You could say the site should be offline for now. The idea behind that is that you've got a site that isn't 100% complete yet, so you don't want people to be able to spot it by coincidence. But in my case, I don't mind. The site should already be available on the web. I click on Next. Okay. You choose the database type, MySQLi, that's correct. You enter your host name. You'll get this information from me by email. So in my case, the host name is your username db.bimserver2.com. So the host name is the same host name that you used a few weeks ago when you tried out phpMyAdmin. Okay, your username, in my case, that's your username db. Password, in my case, it's something I've got written down here. The database name is the same as your username, so I'm lazy, I will just copy and paste this value over. And the table prefix is randomly generated. You could either spell out whatever name you thought of your database, so that your CMS should have, or you can just leave it as it is, and it will be a randomly generated table prefix. So the idea is, if you ever install a second version of Joomla on your server, the system will think of different random letters and will put different random letters down here, and hopefully they will not interfere with each other. The reason behind that is that all your different Joomla installations, they all need, for example, one table for usernames. So in this case, the username table will be easyother_user. And if you install a different version, hopefully the system will come up with different random letters. So the other installation will have another sequence of letters _user. So there'll be lots of different tables, dozens and dozens of them. And we'll just choose a different table prefix. And in case you've got an old database with a Joomla installation, you can decide whether you want to back them up or remove those old tables. In my case, I just leave it as it is, and I click on Next. And now the system asks me whether I want to install sample data. For your second installation, when you want to work on the system that you want to submit as your assignment, I suggest you don't install any sample data, because there'll just be lots of data you don't use, and the backend will be quite messy. But for now that you just want to try things out, I suggest you install sample data. So which one should I install? Default or Learn Joomla? Let's try Learn Joomla. Email configuration, yeah, that's a good idea. I want the system to email me my configuration. And oh yeah, why don't you email me my password as well? Then I don't forget it. So here are lots of bits of information, but basically it says my system is fine, is ready to go. I click on install. So next it will create tables in the database, and it will also copy content in. It will copy those sample data articles in, and whatever users should be there. So at the moment the system is installing everything, and yeah, it's installed now, which means we have the front end and the back end. And at the moment the system will not work yet. There was an installation folder, and the installation folder is still there, and for security reasons we have to remove this installation folder first before the system can work. So I click here and the folder will automatically be removed for me. And we've got a link here to the front end and a link to the back end. I'll open those two links in different tabs. So I'll open this link in a tab, and I'll open this link in another tab. Yeah, so here's the front end. Here's the back end, and I will show you how to log on in another video.